It does head east and is going to affect us here in Miami. Thanks to our virtual view technology, I'm standing in Miami's Bayfront Park. The mostly cloudy skies will give way to thunderstorms. You see those palm fronds shaking in the wind. And by the way, this is going to keep repeating. We're in a pattern, and we just keep getting pieces of energy coming in. This could trigger a multi-day flood threat as well. Miami's picked up nearly 80 inches of rain this year. That's more than 13 inches above average. So let's talk about the Florida storminess. And there it is for you. I said we're going to be on repeat, and we are all the way through the weekend. We don't really get a break. And the reason why is that we have surface features, we have features in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. There's just a lot of forcing and a lot of moisture in the environment here. The European model has most of it from, the Orlando area. That's not really Orlando. It's like the Space Coast all the way down, cutting across Alligator Alley, going over towards Fort Myers and Naples, while the GFS has rain a little bit farther to the north. The reason being is both these models have low pressure developing in different areas. We'll get to that in a minute. Fort Lauderdale, we don't need any more rain. Over 100 inches for the year. We are the #1 wettest year to date. We're going to add to that, so I have a feeling this record's going to stand for quite a while. Let's hope it does. While on the West Coast, we really need the rain. We're the #1 driest, 2 feet down from Naples over into Sarasota. I think Naples, with both models, will help with that drought. We'll get some help with that. High pressure to the north, that means clockwise flow, east wind blowing over Florida. That increases your rip current risk if you dare to get in the waters in December. I know it's cold for some Floridians out there. We not only have this little stalled boundary that's giving us lift, but also energy in the upper levels. And as George was mentioning, it's all going to be swinging this way. And so you have a disturbance there, you have another disturbance behind that, and eventually we do get low pressure to form at the surface. So here we go through our Wednesday. This is tomorrow. The rain comes in and then it just stays there. Nothing's going to change for a while. And then you'll see a low pressure, boom, there it is. So notice how far south it is, comes up, and then eventually goes up the I-95 corridor, and maybe we have a huge storm on Monday in the northeast. It's still a ways away, but we're all looking at that. And look where the GFS develops that low pressure. You'll notice that the low pressure with the GFS a little bit farther north. That would be great news for Tampa, Kelly, because we need the rain, but that's also why we get more of it up into the Carolinas.
Yeah, where it goes after Florida, big tease, right?
Harness it, right? I mean, I was one time in Ireland and I went to the cliffs of Moher.
Yeah.
Listening to the waves.
Wind. Oh, the waves. So they're going to say the wind.
Yeah.
Well, same, I guess, right?
Listening to the waves, battering the cliffs, shaking the little cliff you're on. I mean, you could just feel that energy.
We got to harness it. We got to harness it. Well, so I wonder why, of course, did you wonder why UK has such extreme tides? I went down a rabbit hole on it.
Well, I mean, no, I had just latitudes, right?
No. It's not what that has to do with the latitude.
Really?
It has to do with the type of continental shelf, the bathymetry, if you will.
Right.
This is a word
Ocean
you can
floor.
use. Right. The slope of the ocean floor is really shallow. Around the UK, I found pictures.
So
you can
it allows all that energy to.
So because it's so shallow, you can have big swings like that.
So we can grab a lot of energy from that shallow shelf.
Yeah, I mean, there was pictures of where, it looked like there was an island out there, and then the tide went out, and there was literally, you could walk like it was no big deal out there.
That's amazing.
Which is fun. In Florida growing up, you could go like on the sandbars,
That's
park
always
your boat.
weird to me.
You park your boat, the water goes out.
Right.
But you better time it right because you're not getting back until the tide comes.
It did?
You got stuck?
Oh, we got stuck. Yeah. We had a whole tide shift before we could get the boat out.
That's what you got to do.
All right, topic number 2, climate advocates, get ready to start your engines. This is the world's very first Formula E race car. It's made from electronics.
You could donate it to them.
I need to figure out where to put it.
You could donate it to them.
Because, I mean, everybody, if you've ever seen like a motherboard or taken something apart, there's all those chips in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to do with it. A lot of you engineers, kudos to you, had to figure all that stuff out. But there's a lot of that stuff, and what do you do with it other than repurpose it and make a race car?
The first thing I thought of was Back to the Future when I saw this.
Ooh.
Because they use all the trash to fuel.
Yes, the flux capacitor.
The flux capacitor. I know that this is on the outside, but still, it's like, I wonder if some of those pieces could actually fuel it as well at some point.
And do you remember what the flux capacitor ran on?
Garbage.
Trash.
Yeah.
That's right. That'd be so cool. All right. Topic number 3.
Let's do it here. As world leaders still battle over an agreement to wrap up this year's climate summit, scientists are battling another climate-related problem, disinformation. It's everywhere now. You can't escape it.
You are gullible. Do you remember like playing the gullible game? You're like, oh, did you know this? And you're like, really? And you're like, no, of course that's not true. But I feel like the more I learn, the more questions I have. And
you
the
should
more
question
confused
everything.
I get.
Well, even just this morning, we were talking about a movie this morning, and that there was some, oh, it's pretty. Are you sure? Are you,
Yeah,
oh, let's
yeah,
double
we
check.
gotta go look.
You have to like quadruple check.
Do you think AI can solve this?
No.
And if so,
no, because you could program it to spit out whatever you wanted
which
to
way does
do,
AI lean?
right?
Yeah.
All I know is I'm to the point where I literally believe nothing anyone says.
Right.
I'm in that camp and have to have like 45 fact checks of that before
Isn't that
I'll be
sad?
like, oh, okay.
I know. That's sad.
That's
that
the
we're
world we
there.
live in now.
I know. Well, can high-tech solutions work even in the most remote areas? Welcome back, everybody, to Pattern. So we know the oceans are getting warmer, but the impact of rising temperatures on marine life and delicate habitats is still being discovered.
Scientists in Portugal have made it their mission to document what's happening using new technology available to them. One of the individuals heading up this effort is Dr. Rui Seabra, who is joining us now. You guys are in the news for all sorts of great things with renewable energy. This is really exciting. Your team has installed over 1,000 sensors across the Atlantic. What kind of data are you looking to actually collect? Good luck. We look forward to hearing what else they're able to find out. Listen, Portugal's known for their waves, right? Some of the biggest waves in the world.
That's right.
What's that spot again? I'm having
Navarre.
Something close to that. It's close to that. It'll come to us.
Sounding weird in my head. For more stories like this, make sure you check out Pattern on the Weather Channel app on Roku. You could also find us on
like hours. I will say hours and hours.
We're having a lot of trouble with names today, so just bear with us.
I'm going to Google it. We'll Google it while you're doing the weather, Molly.
Okay. I want the answer when we come back. Let's talk about Texas in the meantime. And Nazar. Oh, you were so close.
I know. And I said Nazar. I'm like, no, Navarre.
Don't question it. Go with your gut.
I know. Thank you.
Molly, thank you.
Nazar. We have a lot of optimism thanks to the next generation of climate activists.
And you will too. Pattern for a California boy. It all began at the ripe old age of 3 years old. He discovered a passion for recycling.
And now, 11 years later, that passion has grown into a very lucrative business for this young entrepreneur. CBS correspondent Carter Evans has this story.
This van.
Man, this kid.
I really think this is a good lesson too for parents, because the reason he got so interested in recycling is because his dad took him to do some recycling when he was 3, and now it has sparked this.
Yeah.
So just imagine if you have an interest, or just showing your kids so many different things that are out there, what it could possibly turn into. They could pay for college themselves potentially.
Right. Shout out to all the parents who put in the effort, because it took a lot of effort. Once he was like, I want to do this. It's like, all right, this is what we're doing on the weekends now.
Is there anything you do with your kids that it has sparked something for them yet?
Business-wise, no.
No.
Not yet.
There's still plenty of time.
Sports-wise, they're like, yeah, I like this.
That's great.
But yeah.
As long as you expose them to a lot of things.
We've done the lemonade stands and all that stuff, but
that's great.
Next step.
All right, let's step on over to Molly. Molly's got a little one.
Yes, we're already teaching him how to recycle. No, I'm kidding.
I was like,
he's 7 months old.
He's still just drooling.
He's
and
blowing
eating.
raspberries right now. That's his big trait that he's learned. Snow, great for ski resorts there.
And they need it too. It's really dry in New Mexico. Molly, thanks.
All right, here's what's coming up tomorrow on Pattern. One plane ride in, get you guys covered on all things weather right after this.